What's up, y'all? We are back, episode 3 of the Washington Nationals Out of the Park Baseball 24 series. And we are here June 1st, 2024. Nationals sit at 21-31, much better than last season. And we actually got off to a really nice start. Well, relatively, of course. April, we were 10-14. May, 11-17, not great. And we've stumbled a little bit, but overall, it's been a lot better than last year. You can see runs allowed were 10th, which is a big improvement from 15th last season. But the offense is still anemic. We're 14th in runs scored. There's not really much great to talk about here with the offense. Jose Siri's had a really nice start to the year, defensively and offensively, but that's obviously not going to sustain, or at least I would doubt it would sustain. Jake Alou's been pretty solid, though, as a part-time player, playing the strong side of the platoon over at, I think, second base, DH, second base. Luis Garcia has been much better than he was last year. Kind of has a defensive home now in right field, playing a little bit first base as well. But he's been good out and right, so maybe we finally found him a position. And then Keibert Ruiz, I've been playing him almost exclusively at first base this year. He's got some time at catcher, but his framing just not really good enough, and our pitching's been really good with Hedges behind the plate. So I think we're gonna have to lean into a defensive catcher until this pitching staff kind of improves overall. So I guess that's really it to talk about. Keibert Ruiz has been bad offensively, but I think he'll be fine long term. CJ Abrams has been hurt, but when he's out there, he's been good. He's playing a lot of right field right now. Just because we have some more infield options that I like. Tony Kemp's been a really solid pickup as a part-time player on the strong side of the second base platoon. You kind of look at our lineups here, look at the overview, and yeah, there's some pretty, we're platooning quite a bit, and I'd like to cut that down as the save goes on, but overall, the offense has been better. I think it's been better than last year, or at least it looks better coming into the season. We've gotten Carter Kieboom kind of going. I think, was he hurt to start the year? No, he wasn't. I just don't think I'm playing him as much. Actually, that's complete nonsense. I wish he would hit more. I thought he might have been hurt according to these numbers, but he's actually been fine all year. Alika Williams has come back from his injury and hasn't done much. So I have a couple offers out for minor league free agents. Michael Brantley, just to see if we can improve the offense a little bit and not suck completely. Trevor Story, if we do sign him, he might be my shortstop. He played a couple of games with Boston. I guess they just released him, which is pretty wild considering he had a couple years left on his deal, I believe. And then we also had an offer out for Max Muncy, so maybe he slots into our lineup somewhere. But yeah, going to try to improve the offense as the year goes on. But Paul Skeens was called up. He's made 6 starts, and it's been some good, some bad. Overall, the numbers don't look good at all, but I think there's reason to believe that he's going to be a good pitcher, obviously, because he has the good ratings. Strasburg's been hurt, and he lost a lot of velo, I think. Yeah, the OSA hasn't really updated him, but yeah, he's probably just shot. He might just get released at some point. But Chris Smith's been good. He put together a pretty decent season for us last year, and he's kind of built on that this year. And then Patrick Corbin has been a really pleasant surprise. Check out his first month of the year in April. He was a real legit starter, and the wheels have kind of come off here in May, but overall, he's been much better. Not like he could have been much worse than he was last year, but yeah, things are looking up for him. And the bullpen's been really solid overall. I guess you could see we bumped Josiah Gray after 3 starts to the bullpen. And check out his stats as a reliever. He's been a legit good reliever. And as a starter, he was just miserably bad. So I'm going to try him as a reliever. Mackenzie Gore, kind of same story. I don't think he's been quite as good as a reliever, yeah, but as a starter, he was not cutting it. So we'll see if these guys can work out as relievers long term. Doesn't have zero value. It's obviously not as good as a starter, but yeah, anyway. Jacob Lopez having a nice season. Noah Denoyer, our Rule 5 pick. He's had a pretty good start to the year as well. He'll probably stick with the team the whole year. I don't really see a reason he wouldn't. Ian Gabout is having a nice start to his season. Vasquez has been fine. Cole Henry's been really solid in a setup role. Not really surprising. He has some good ratings. And then Tanner Rainey's been good as our closer. So, yeah, the pitching staff's been really good. Third in bullpen ERA, 13th in starters ERA, but that number compared to last year, our staff ERA was 5.39, and this year's down to 4.22. So some pretty obvious improvement there. As for our prospects, I guess not really a ton's change. Norge Vera, I want to get him up on the major league team pretty soon, but I'm not going to rush him or anything. He's 24 now. I would like to get him on the major league team this season, though. James Wood, after a really hot start to the season in AA, called him up to AAA. He's chilling down there for now. Robert Hassel has been hurt for the last month and a half or so. Number 95 prospect in baseball, off to a really good start in AAA before he got hurt. Jarlin Susana, I believe, was involved in the Soto trade, yeah. Really good dart throw. Having a nice season to start in high A after, impressing a lot in single A last year. And then when I called him up to high A, the numbers don't look great, but he'll probably get the call to AA quite soon. Armando Cruz has been hurt. He got hurt in spring training. I don't know if I mentioned that. And then Andrew Lara, the other guy, I guess the last guy to talk about in our top 200, off to a decent start in AA so far. So, and then a lot of these guys are in rookie ball. There's not really too much else to talk about. So, I just wanted to do a quick update here, June 1st, and I think we'll probably just come back around the draft All-Star break area. I don't think there's a ton else to really do right now. We'll see if those guys sign and we can fill some holes at shortstop and in the infield. So we'll be back with an update in just a sec. All right, so just wanted to update. We kind of nosedived last month. June was not good, 9-17. I guess it wasn't that much worse than May, but it felt worse. And I've made a monumental move potentially for the team's future. We called him James Wood today, along with Robert Hassel. So I don't love starting both of these guys as service clock at the exact same time, but hopefully they're our corner outfielders moving forward in the save. They will play every day, and we'll crash and burn with them, I guess. So that pushes Luis Garcia to first base full time, which I'm cool with. He was playing fine in right field, but I want to give Hassel and Wood some time in the outfield. And I didn't mention this guy, Trey Lipscomb. Called him up. I don't even remember. He must have just been in our organization, but he was crushing the minors the last few years, so I called him up, and he's been crushing it in the majors. Look at the strikeout rate to walk rate. Definitely not sustainable with his eye, but, we'll take the results as they come, as I like to say. Then we push C.J. Abrams back to second, which, again, I don't love it, but he's been really bad there defensively, and he's been bad in right, so I guess it doesn't matter. And then, this is kind of our lineup against righties and lefties. I push Ruiz to DH against lefties, put Hedges starting, just because I like Jake Alou. He's had a nice year, all things considered. So, we're going to keep pushing forward. I guess, I don't know, there's not really much to update. I guess Kay Cavalli came off the IL. I had him on a long rehab assignment. I think I used almost the full 30 days with him, and has come back, made 3 starts, and looked okay. So maybe he's a piece for us. Paul Skeens has been much better. I've limited him 95 pitches, and I think that's helped him out in his last couple starts. So hopefully he keeps improving. Steven Strasburg looks done. Patrick Corbin's been a lot worse, but he's still a serviceable starter. The bullpen continues to hang in there. Tanner Rainey's had a rough month or so. Check out his June. It was not pretty, so we'll just continue to play out the season, see how it goes. We're 15th in runs scored, so I don't think our offense can get much worse. But the offense has been, the pitching's been better. We're going to keep moving forward. We got a couple weeks until the draft, so we'll come back then. All right, so we're going to pull off a quick, I guess you could call it salary dump. We're going to flip Tanner Rainey, who was probably ready to DFA. It's actually a day later after I stopped recording, so we're going to flip him and Alex Call, who I thought might have a role in this year's team, and he got off to such a dreadful start. It's not like this is surprising. Like, he's not actually a good ratings player, so maybe last year was a flash in the pan. Not like he was even that good last year, but yeah, we're going to flip them for Miguel Del Pozo, who is a 31-year-old with plenty of control. He's in his last option year, so we'll have to keep him on the team after this season, but are able to send him to the minors this season, and pretty decent arm. So they're eating all the contracts, so our budget improves by $1.2 million, which definitely counts for our team. So we'll add Del Pozo to the 40, and I mostly open up this roster spot because I wanted to give some guys in the minors a shot. Art Warren's pitched really well down there, so I want to call him up. And then I also want to get Norge Vera up at some point, but I'm not in a huge rush on that. We do need a closer, though. I don't really have anyone in mind. I don't really want to go to Cole Henry yet. He's still young and not even arbitration eligible. Maybe Josiah Gray. Let's give him a shot as a closer. I don't think it's going to go well, but we can give him a shot. And then we'll use these two as long relievers. Okay, so that's the trade. And we'll keep moving forward. Come back. All right, so I don't know if I even mentioned this, but somehow we won the lottery, and we have the first overall pick here. So we're here at the draft, and a notoriously bad draft. I had this pick with my Nashville save, and I took Mike Mullinax, who still looks like a great player, but I'd like to mix it up and maybe not take him here. So Connor Griffin I took in my Rockies save. I don't think he was the first pick, but corner outfielder with some huge upside. Tommy White's a guy I like, and he usually turns out to be a pretty good player. He's a first base only type guy, which I'm not opposed to, but at the number one overall pick, you better be a generational hitter. Miles Langhorne, interesting pitcher, I guess. Henry Allen can't really play defense anywhere. This guy's interesting. I don't know if I want to draft a second baseman with a $9 million demand right there. So Tommy White is a $7 million demand. Pretty standard, I'd say. We got to clear up some budget room, but I think we should be okay to do that. Connor Griffin wants $10 million, so that might bring us out of the running for that. Mike Mullinax wants slot. No, I can't. I can't take him again. I've already gone down that route. I like Theo Gillen. If the range ticks up, he could be a shortstop. I gotta stop banking on range increasing. It could also decrease, and he could be a useless player. Really nice build on this pitcher here. Hunter Owen, side armor, which I don't love, but man, really high floor. I don't really want to go pitcher back-to-back years. Nathan Detmer looks like he was a guy I had on my short list last season. Interesting. So he did not sign. Drew Hackenberg, my guy. Maybe we took. How the heck did we wind up with him on our team? Did we take Mullinax another season? No, Mullinax is our first pick. Maybe Hackenberg didn't declare this year. I don't know. But we got both of them. And Aiden Harris, too. Wow. Look at that. All these Nashville guys coming through. Alex Mooney's got some nice upside as a defender. I don't know if he's first overall pick worthy, though. Yeah, this is tough. I might have to hop off camera, look over this, make sure I'm making the right pick, because this is a pretty important pick. I mean, I think I'm leaning toward Tommy White, only because I know this draft class is not great, and he has the highest floor and can be a middle-of-the-order bat almost immediately, which we do need. And long-term, with our prospects, like we don't really have a guy who, I guess Volkow, but even I'd probably play him at third. And they also not really on the same trajectory, with regards to when they're going to be on the team. Tommy White would probably be on the team next season. I'm not going to say we didn't make the right choice with Skeens, but he's not the pitcher that I thought he was going to be immediately, which sucks. So I would like to have a guy with this pick. I think I'm going to go with Tommy White. This is very reminiscent of Spencer Torkelson going number 1, where it was a kind of a weak draft, and Torkelson is the best hitter. Probably going to stick at first base long term, but overall was the highest upside and highest floor hitter in the draft, and I think that's what Tommy White is. And I've definitely seen him turn out to be a pretty good player and a lot of saves. So, as much as I'd love to take Molinex again, I'm gonna avoid doing that just for having some new names on the team essentially. So, $7 million. Bonus demand. Okay, he wants $7 million here. He wants $9 here. So I might wait to offer him. Owen Peno. He was a guy. Just making sure I'm making the right choice here. I guess there's no really right choice. Everything is left to randomness in this game, unfortunately. Alex Mooney I really like. If he dropped to the second round for some reason, I'd totally scoop him up. Doubt he would, but weirder things have happened, I guess. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing really down here with upside. So yeah, let's go with Tommy White. We'll figure out the draft money later. We can always trade for cash or something. So second, oh my god. I mean, if he's gonna be sitting there, he only wants slot. Yeah, his bonus demand is barely over slot. Alex Mooney is also here though, a guy that I love, and can play some shortstop. And our scout is actually good now, so this is accurate. Let's see. College, he didn't really hit that well. I mean, a good slash line, but in this prospect league, he hit well. So it's either Mooney or Molinex. I think I might go Mooney just out of, kind of what I said last round, getting some new bodies in here. Chase Mobley, too high of a demand to really mess with at this pick. Henry Allen's really interesting, but we just drafted a first baseman. I can't do another one. It's kind of the same story with Mateo Gray. Same story with Miles Gosen. Molinex, I mean, he is the best player available. And he's I can get him basically at slot. High school guy. Can play center field long term. Yeah, it's tough. What did we do in the second round? We took a kind of high upside guy that I think might bust. Let's see what we did last year in the draft. Just so, now we're kind of Caden Sore. Okay, yeah, he's not the guy that I thought he was gonna be, but he's not bad. Cooper Pratt. See, he already lost that 80 contact. I friggin' knew that was gonna happen. Took Cam Johnson. He was the first dart throw. I guess these guys were all dart throws too. Went into Mala, and then we went with the high floor guys. Zion Rose doing? Yeah, he fell off as well almost immediately. Jake Cunningham, same story. He's actually hitting well in A-ball though. Okay, I don't know why I'm going over this draft again. Really quick. Yeah, dude, Jace Grady. He's hit at every level really well. So could be a player. Maybe he'll get some TCR and turn into a stud. I think I might go with Alex Mooney. I like the work ethic. I like the floor. He's freshly 22, so he's still pretty young. And I don't want to take Molinex again, basically. And he's way under slot, so let's meet his demand and go to the next round. So this is where I might turn off the recorder and take a look at this off camera and probably do the rest of the draft, just because there's not a ton here. There might be some diamonds in the rough that I like more than these higher overall guys. So let me hop off. We'll update with the results. We're in round 3 here, so we'll do the last 17, 18 rounds, and we'll come back in just a sec. All right, so we're here, end of the draft, and I'm so stupid. I realized that with basically your owner will let you go over budget if it's the slot amount. So that's fine. I mean, we still wanted to save money on these picks, but we were able to offer Tommy White $9 million, even though it'll put us in the negatives. I've slowly increased my ticket prices with all this, season tickets increase, attendance increase, revenue increases. So hopefully we can keep improving the amount of money that we bring in, so we could have higher budgets and be able to do some more stuff. But let's go over the draft and what happened with this. So we took Tommy White, took Alex Mooney, went over those. Took this guy Mateo Green. He was one of the guys I thought might be a first baseman, but I don't know. This arm ticks up to a 60, and then you're looking at a whole different player. Low work ethic, which concerns me, but there wasn't really anyone else with upside. I took this guy Cade Arambide, a good defensive catcher. The OSA likes him even more. There's obvious bust potential with the low avoid Ks and everything, but I don't know, an interesting dart throw in the 4th round. Then Carter Matheson, who's out with an injury, a guy I would have considered even the 2nd round. He fell all the way down here, and I like the upside, and the floor is pretty good for a 21-year-old. We took Andrew Yu, who has a good personality makeup and a good defensive catcher. So we took 2 catchers in the first 6 rounds, which I don't love, but that was kind of the best player available. In the case matter, we took a reliever here in the 7th round, which is probably the earliest I've probably ever taken a reliever. But he's 22, and looks like he could be a shutdown reliever. And in the 7th round, you'll take what you can get with this draft class. And then we took Drew Compton in the 8th round. I like the floor. Then Kellum Clark in the 9th round. Caleb Hobson, another high floor guy. There was like a lot of like fully developed guys, which have value as improving your minor league teams and having these teams do better so that your prospects develop. But so I kind of just went that route on a lot of these picks. Jake McCohen was one of the dart throws. He got 4 pitches. We'll see. Casey Saki, another high floor guy. This guy's like fully developed at age 22, so he'll probably slot into like a double-A rotation. Mason Russell, one of the dart throws. Max Charlton, guy who can pitch in high A. This guy could be a stud reliever. Howard Jolly, maybe even a starter potentially if he gets the control up. But for a 16th round pick, not bad. Another high floor guy. Another high floor guy. And Stanley Tucker was quite interesting in the 19th round. The batting upside looks pretty decent. He has some defensive ability. Pretty good outfielder as well. So keep your eyes on Stanley Tucker, 19th round pick. And then Jack Renwick, high floor guy. So there wasn't a ton of upside in this draft. This is much more of a let's solidify our base after we threw a bunch of darts last year, and we'll see if they work out. But yeah, Tommy White's our big get, 1st round pick, and everything else we'll see how it goes. So we'll be back around the All-Star break, trade deadline area. Okay, so this is an interesting trade, I guess. So I started out by looking at Carter Keyboom trades. He really hasn't been any good. He was fine last year, but I don't think he's a long-term piece. We have some other options in the infield at this point. So we're going to package him with Jackson Rutledge, who makes most of this trade possible. He's just 25, and I don't know. I don't really see it. He hasn't been really impressive. He was once a nice prospect for us, but recently he's had some development drops. I guess the potential is still there, but he just hasn't improved at this point. So I'm just kind of giving up on him. He could very well become a good player, but I mean, his changeup hasn't developed. I think it's his biggest thing. So he's just a reliever at best. They're also throwing in Alfonso Hernandez and Michael Rucker, who had a nice year for us last year, but was bad in a couple appearances. I don't know. He's not a long-term piece either. I mean, I don't really want to give him up, but it's the last option year, so it doesn't really make any sense. We're getting Ben Lively, but mostly it's $6.5 million cash. They're eating all his contracts, so we get back into the positives after giving Tommy White the big bonus, which is really the only reason I want to do this trade, obviously, is to get back in the positives. So we're going to pull the trigger on that, and I'm sure our owner will rejoice as we now are in the positives. gonna keep slowly increasing my ticket prices. We'll see when this eventually backfires, but yeah, maybe we'll look to sign someone with high popularity to boost fan interest. But I think that was probably the only trade I really wanted to make. I think I've kind of glossed over how the offense is doing to this point, but James Wood, since calling him up, he's been amazing, absolutely killing it. Hassel's been good as well, just not quite as good as Wood, but 125 WRC plus, walking 12.5% of the time. Take that all day. And Trey Lipscomb, who I don't even know if I mentioned. I may have. Oh yeah, I mentioned the strikeout rate and stuff, which is held up. The strikeout has, and the walk rate has dropped, but he's looking like a legit player. 352 average, 154 WRC plus. I don't think it's sustainable, but his ratings aren't bad. So maybe he can become a long-term player. Jeter Downs has been playing really well since he's had to step in after Trevor Story injury. Jake Alou continues to be like a nice player for us. Luis Garcia has been about a league average player offensively and kind of coming to his own defensively, at least in right field and the outfield in general. We still need some more out of Keibert Ruiz. It's been a really disappointing year for him. He's playing a lot more catcher recently, but yeah, he's gonna have to start hitting to earn his contract, or I don't know. He'll probably stay around regardless, just because we don't have a ton of offensive options. But yeah, we're hanging around. Tony Kemp's around. He's a good leader. He's played well when he's been out there. Then I really want to get Intunia going, which is why I traded K-Boom. Lipscomb is playing a lot of third base at the moment, but we're going to start mixing in Intunia a little bit more there. Also, I didn't mention our lone all-star representative was C.J. Abrams, who has been absolutely killing it this season. 132 games, he has a 134 WRC+. The BABIP is an insane 400. But for a contact hitter with good speed, it's not insane to have that high of a clip. So, yeah, Abrams has been awesome. So yeah, that's where we are at this point. I didn't mention this guy, Wilfred Veras, as well. He was up for about 20 games for us. We got him in the trade with Vera in exchange for Joey Meneses, who is having another really good season. So, but why is he in AAA? Oh my god, this game is so stupid sometimes, man. Like, why he's having like an all-star caliber season and you put him in AAA? Is he? I hope he's on a rehab assignment. He's not. Oh my god, so sad. And then I mentioned that Goldner played really well when he was up. The 88 WRC plus isn't like that great, but he was really good in his limited time. So I think that's about it. I think we'll probably wrap up the episode here. I don't think there's really any other moves to make. I'd like to get a popular guy. Maybe I'll look off camera really quick and then come back in a second and end the episode either way, probably. So we'll be back. All right, so I'm going to bring in Andrew McCutchen. Not a great player anymore or anything, but he's a leader. He's very popular, and it'll just help out our ticket sales for the rest of the year. We're giving up a nothing 25-year-old with, I guess he's a leader, but maybe I'll pick someone else. They kind of would have taken any prospect here. So let me go for a little bit of an older one. Sure. You know what? Let's go with Blake Casson. See if they take him. Perfect. All right, so we're gonna pick up McCutchen. He'll stick on our team for the rest of the year, and our team likes that. So, got to keep the team happy, and our team is happy at this point. Ton of leaders. Strasburg might have to get cut soon because he is selfish. So is Antunia, but at least he's young and maybe good. But yeah, we'll end the episode here. Thank you very much for watching, and we will catch you next time at the end of the season and for the off season most likely. So, peace.